gonna flow. We're gonna flow. We're going to, you know,
All right. So are you introducing me or?
yeah, we're gonna do all those things. As a matter of fact, we have already started because I like starting this way. I like throwing this
Okay. Yeah. All
easy
right. Well,
into
I
it.
was fixing my hair.
Yeah, I don't have. You don't have to be on camera for that. No, 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 no. It's just I don't know. I feel better when I just kind of ease into things versus
Yeah.
doing a formal thing like saying this is another
I get it.
episode
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
Cultured
Sometimes it could
Misfits
be like, oh,
podcast. Yeah. This is another episode of the Cultured Misfits podcast. I am your host, Brandon, aka DJ Silk, and this is a special affair because I have someone here virtually because we live too far apart to be
too
doing this
far.
thing. I know it's your fault. Because you have definitely moved a couple of times. You could have moved closer. I'm just saying.
No, I haven't. Not from where I'm at now. I've been here 22 years.
I know, but you
What are you
went
talking
from like
about?
apartment to house to,
In the same town.
you could have left the town. You could have left the town.
Really?
Anyway, I have Angie Jerez here joining me, and I was trying to think of a like nice adjective, but I haven't been able to think. Yeah, I haven't been able to think of one because I've just been doing too much. And that kind of sucks because
you could think of an adjective while you're doing something.
I know, but it just occurred to me, and then we had all these technical
they can't
difficulties.
multitask.
I was doing too much multitasking. That's the problem. I was doing too many things at once. I just finished recording a mix for the radio station, and then I realized like what I love to do with these technical setups is I love to just go ahead and wait till the very last minute to then scramble and find things and do things. So anyway, and it sucks because we've known each other like since 2011.
You think?
When we met on the the commercial
That was
set.
2011?
I believe it was 2011.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's insane. Yeah, that's insane.
I know, time flies. Time really flies. So
yes, it does.
So Angie, I know some people may be aware of, they might be slightly aware of you because you're making some noise on what, YouTube and TikTok, right?
Yeah, and Instagram. I mean, a little noise here and there.
Just a little noise?
Just a little noise.
All right. And your original claim, so when I met you, you were a spokesperson for Verizon, right?
I was, yeah. It was my last year working for Verizon.
Okay.
I was their Latin host.
Okay.
I was going to all the shows that they sponsored that were for the Latin community.
Okay.
And when I say all, I'm talking about Latin Grammys, Latin billboards, youth clinics in California, dance competitions in Arizona, Mother's Day concerts in Chicago. Yeah, I was doing a lot.
Oh, you were killing
for
it.
them.
You was getting the frequent
flyer
I was doing
miles. For them.
Okay.
Yep.
And so I'll tell the story because you don't have to tell the story about the Chrysler commercial.
Yeah, you can tell a story, and let me see if we have the same story still, because as time passes by, stories kind of change in your mind. So let me hear your story.
Okay. Well, essentially, you and I were both we were both on the Chrysler commercial for J-Lo and Julio Iglesias. That was
not Julio Iglesias, Enrique Iglesias.
Enrique, see, I already messed that up. Anyway, it was an Iglesias.
Enrique Iglesias.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were a principal, which means you had a substantial part in the commercial where I was a heavy background person. And what had happened was I looked like someone I looked like a security guard in the Miami shoot because they did they were shooting in different locations. And so for continuity's sake, they were like, oh, you look like the security guard. So they actually pulled me from being just in the background to actually being a principal on the fly. Meanwhile,
it's crazy.
Crazy, right? I was in the car with J-Lo. I got out of the car. It was amazing. She sang. I made her laugh. I made Casper get real upset. Casper was super jealous in the back. He was upset.
Yeah, Casper.
He was the fucking worst. And meanwhile, while I'm living my glory, poor Angie here was deemed a threat to the look of J-Lo because you were too attractive, so you couldn't be one of her principal dancers.
I don't want to say a threat. I just think she she's a smart
She's very
businesswoman.
smart. Right.
Yeah. So she knew what she was doing. She was, playing the game right. So yes, I went from being a principal to then being background because she didn't want me behind her.
Right.
It's all good.
No, it makes sense. Like back
I'm
then,
telling you, like she's a smart businesswoman.
Exactly.
She knows how to
Right. She knows what to do. She knows what to do.
She knows where to put the players.
It was a very shrewd move. And I still remember sitting in the auditorium on Temple's campus, sitting next to you.
Yep.
and you had your shoes off and you were just kind of just like, man, I'm here, whatever. I'm still getting paid, whatever.
I'm still getting paid, yes. And I still got paid as a principal.
So it was
just a good thing.
So that was the beginning. So since then, have you done any other work in terms of
acting? Absolutely.
So what highlights?
After that I did, commercials here and there. I worked for Discovery Investigation. I did a couple of shorts and I did a feature film with Michael Madsen. Oh. And after that, I was cast for a part on a Bollywood movie.
I can see that.
That was shot here in New Jersey. Yeah. Well, you know what? I was playing an American detective, so it was,
Okay.
They shot it here in Edison, like 2 towns over.
Okay. Yeah. That was cool. That's dope.
Yeah.
And so currently, I know you're doing the real estate, right? Luxury.
I do real estate, yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
And then you have your travel company, right?
I do, yeah. I have Casa de Ocio, which is my travel company. A lot of people think it's a travel agency. It's not. It's just travel information. We're creating a lot of blogs using a lot of AI. So you know how it is. Mm-hmm. But yes.
Okay.
Still cool. my and I'm still doing acting. I just I just set an audition for. It's this huge casting director, and they cast it for this Colombian show on Netflix. I forget the name. The drug lord something. Not Griselda, just old ones. And I keep sending auditions. But the industry, the acting industry, is very tough.
I know. I'm good. I'm good on it.
But it's great though. As long as you stay busy and you like it, because I love it. I love dressing up. I love reading lines. I love getting prepared. You know what I don't like? I don't like recording myself. I used to love going to auditions in the city and, taking the day, hop on the train, go to an audition, stay for dinner. Now you got to record yourself. You got to, get a reader, or either you have to record the other lines on your own. And it's kind of hectic. But, you got to do what you got to do. That was COVID's fault.
Yeah, no, for real. It's, it has really definitely changed the game. But on the flip side, now you're not taking a whole day. You know what I mean? Like however long it takes for you to record the audition, and you have time, you have opportunity to do take after take. So I think there's a plus side to that. But you know what it is? It used to be different. Like when you walked in a room when there was the casting directors, and you just made an impression, right? When you walked in that room, that they could just feel. Now it's like you better get those lines straight. You better act. Right.
You better do it. Like and you know that. There's a lot of reacting, right? Yeah. When you read a line, I react off of what you're giving me. You don't have that anymore when you're doing this on your own.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's like, so when I do my mixes, like for the radio station or for Mixcloud, there's no crowd reaction. Like, so I don't, and I do at times miss that. But then I think about, well, ain't nobody in my face asking for dumb requests.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about fights or like craziness, even though sometimes I do miss the craziness. But I do understand, like, if you want to be able to also do your lines and then have a feeling as to whether or not this is actually going to work, like, because you get to see their reaction to what you're doing. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah, no, and then they'll direct you too. They'll tell you, do it in a different way, or give it to me this way, and you show them that you are directable. Like they could give you changes, and you could just do it right there. When you're submitting auditions, it's a tape, and that's it. There's not that interaction is not there, so it's not the same.
I understand. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're still doing it, and so the travel company. Say it again, because you know.
Casa de Ocio.
You just roll.
It means house of leisure.
Oh, I like that.
In Spanish, yeah.
So, and you're building the website, right? You have but you have social media, right?
I have social media for it, yes.
Which is, come on, Angie.
Casa de Ocio.
On Instagram.
Right. Just Casa de Ocio. Okay. Yeah, on Instagram. Casa de Ocio.
It'll be in the notes for this episode.
Yeah.
So you can get your travel information. Yeah. Well, so we have some program things to do before we get into the discussion at hand. So here at the Culture Misfits podcast, Angie, we want to help people in their love life. Actually, in particular, specifically their sex life, because I think a lot of people it's lacking. They have no imagination, no creativity. So every week we do this thing where we roll sex dice. They have
sex dice.
Sex dice. So each dice, you know, like
okay,
like the plural of dice is die. But so they have different actions on each thing. So you roll the dice, and whatever the dice says, that's what you're supposed to do. So the idea is for all of you lover people out there that have a significant other, you can do what the dice.
Where did you get these dice?
At any sex store, on Amazon. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not, you know, they're different. So I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna roll it twice, and then you guys, you know, please do what the dice tell you later. Get consent, but you know. All right. So the first roll is kiss and ear. That's nice, you know.
Okay.
Kiss ear. I don't know.
Kiss ear.
I know, right? All right. Second, eat ear. Yeah. I'm gonna roll again because we ain't going out like that. I don't know what's up with I know, right?
Yeah.
Lick below the waist. No, lick above the waist. Okay, so there's your marching orders. Kiss ear, lick above waist. You can do that later, Angie. You know, just.
Well, I can't. I'll have to wait until the weekend to do
that. Right. Yes, whenever you can. So that is done. That is out the way. You guys have your marching orders with the sex dice, and it's funny because I've actually never gotten to use these in real action. I've had these dice for years, and I've never
really. You've had them for years, and you haven't been able to use them.
I forgot I had them. I really forgot I had them.
Okay.
And then the last person that I could have used the dice with, they were like, "Nah, that's corny." So I'm like, "All right, well, let me put the
really?
Yeah.
Maybe she needs the dice. If she thinks it's corny, maybe she is a person that does need them.
She does. I agree. I absolutely agree with you. But I'm not going to push no dice agenda on anybody. You say they're corny, they go away. So they get to be used on the episode. So hopefully y'all can go out and use the dice and have fun, and then report back as to how good it was when you got your ear licked, or no, your ear kissed.
So where do people report back? They will report back.
They can comment because this is going to be clipped and then put on Instagram as a reel.
Got it.
So
I got it.
Or they can actually like comment on the show, like on YouTube or on this particular episode. So
okay.
Yeah. So Angie, you asked me, you brought up this poor woman. This poor woman.
Tisa?
I think poor woman. What's her name? Tisa?
Tisa? Yeah. The lady from Who the Fuck Did I Marry on TikTok.
Oh my gosh. What? That shit
so wait. Did you watch the whole thing? I watched the whole thing. Parts?
I watched.
Okay.
So it was somebody on YouTube put it together. They just put them all together. So while I was at work yesterday, all day. And I think it came out to be like 5 hours. Does that sound right?
Wow.
I guess each
sounds
thing
about right. It took me like 2 days to finish it.
I watched it at 1.5 speed on YouTube. That's the hack. Because I like, nah, I can't do it. All right, so let's recap because I know there's a lot of people that don't know what we're talking about. So can you what do you know of the situation? Like how would you give a synopsis of what happened.
Okay, so this girl on TikTok, she did a stitch. Is it a stitch? When
Playlist.
You take like, no. When you take a video, someone's asking you a question and you like kind of cut it off and start talking. That's like a stitch.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the guy was asking, what is something that your ex did to you that's a horrible thing, right? So she answered the question and she was talking about how this guy said that someone had died of COVID in 2020. I think his grandmother or something, but she had actually died in 2008.
Okay.
And that's how everything started.
Okay.
So it goes viral, this first clip, and people start asking questions. Where did you meet this guy? Because then she says at the end, and that's only like 2% of the lie that he told me. Like everything was a lie.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So people start asking questions. Where did you meet this guy? She goes on to create another video that also goes viral. But then people still have questions, and then that's when she decides, okay, I need to put this into parts.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about this. Boy.
All right. Okay. So I think I can, so you guys don't have to do 4 to 6 hours of your life to this story. She meets the dude. They quote unquote fall in love. This happens right at the beginning of COVID. So they decide to move. He moves in with her because he's she has the better place. And then from there, they get married really quickly. She gets pregnant. And all this time during this is now what was like 6 months that this all took? What was like a year, or was it?
It was a year. I'm going to say it in like 4 months. It all took the whole like a year and 4 months.
So they get married. She gets pregnant. And during this time, he is basically saying, look, we're going to get a nice big house. Like he's showing her a life of luxury.
It's not only that he's saying that he's going to get a big house, because any man can say that.
Right.
This man was showing her paperwork.
Yes.
Of a pre-approval letter that he was pre-approved for $750,000.
Right.
Not only that, he was showing her bank statement account. His
bank statement, his checking account.
His checking. How much money he had in his checking. Supposedly he had a saving. Supposedly he had another account. He had an offshore account.
Yes.
This guy was printing out itineraries for trips to Paris and London.
Yeah.
Where he didn't have anything. He was talking on the phone with his brother almost every day.
Yes.
Which was not true. He was on the phone by himself. He was just talking to himself. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was lie after lie after lie.
Everything.
But I want to say something, right? Because a lot of people think that she's crazy, right? Like, how would you fall into that? How would you believe him? Why didn't you ask for proof? Let me just tell you this. This woman was trying to find love. She was on 2 dating apps. They had matched on a Facebook dating app and they matched on Hinge. This tells you, right? She's looking for love. She said it, right? Like she was looking for love. And then when they met, she gets a flat tire. Like the first day they're going to meet, she gets a flat tire. He comes over, helps her, pays for the tire. Yep. So she's thinking, oh my God, this is so romantic. This is going to be a great love story. The first day that we met, I got a flat tire. He came and he rescued me, blah, blah, blah. So just off the bat, this guy is love bombing her. So she's like, oh my God, right? Mm-hmm. Then the guy's talking about buying a house. He's a VP at a company when he was a forklift temp. He's paying all her bills because...
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she says, for a woman that is intoxicating, you find someone that is head over heels for you. He's paying for your bills. He's talking about marriage. He's talking about buying a house.
Not even talking. He married her. Like he did all the things.
Yeah, he did marry her. Yeah, he gave her a ring. He married her. So people want to say, hey, she's stupid or she's dumb for believing this or not doing this since the beginning. Why get married? She was in love. And she was really believing this fairy tale.
I don't
You can't
think she
blame
was
her.
in love. Well, I think so first of all, I want to give her credit for being very transparent and very honest for the moments that she really believed that she dropped the ball. Like I was like, okay, I really admire her. Like she made no excuses.
But you know what? I can guarantee you that she omitted a lot of information, because when people go through things like that, they're embarrassed. They don't want to say everything. I'm sure there's more.
There has
she
to be
just didn't
more.
say everything.
There has to be more. But so the problem, so for the people who haven't watched it, so as they're going through this progression of this relationship, he's like, they're looking every time there's an opportunity for them to buy a house or for him to buy her a luxury car, it all falls apart. And early on, she's like, something's not right. But she keeps going. She keeps going along with it, even though she knows in real time. It's not as if she's totally oblivious in the moment.
Yeah, but she because she wanted to believe it was real. She wanted to believe maybe I'm just sabotaging this by thinking this.
For example, so when that first house, when he said they put an offer in and blah blah blah, right? And she knew, she was like, something's not right. And then she ended up calling the realtor of the house when the house went off market because it was sold, right? And she knew that he was lying there, right? And
but I think she was pregnant at the time. That's why she did it.
So, but the way of dealing with that was like, let's not look for a house right now, right? Because she's like, yeah, I know you're full of shit. This is not adding up. So
okay, so let me explain something to you.
Okay.
I think she was pregnant at the point. And there's a lot of factors in it. If she was in love, she was just gonna put it under the rug. Let's not deal with it now. Maybe she was pregnant. Another thing is her family, her mom. She probably her friends. She didn't want to seem like a failure in front of them. There's so many things that go on. I dated a narcissist, and yes, I would say, this guy did this to me, to my friends, right? Or my cousins, or he did this to me, he did that. But I never, ever gave the whole story. Like, he would do more shit. But I wasn't giving them all the information because I was embarrassed. They'll be like, I have a friend, my friend Rose, that I love with all my heart. At some point, she said, don't talk to me about this guy no more.
Yeah.
So I was going through stuff because she couldn't stand him. She was like, don't talk to him. Don't talk to me about him. That's it. I don't want to hear it. She couldn't stand him. But I stayed. I didn't leave. I wanted to believe everything. And this went on for a very long time.
Yeah.
This went on for a very long time.
Okay, what is the worst thing that you're willing to admit that he did?
Okay. Damn, he did so much shit. Until this day, there's stuff that I'm like, I'm talking about that. No one knows going on. I want to say a trip. I had a trip planned to DR.
Okay.
And last minute he decided, I can't go. It's my godson's birthday, and I had paid for everything already. And I think the reality was he was seeing someone else, and he couldn't go away for a whole weekend,
right?
Because
he can't
where are you
for that
this whole
right.
time?
Yeah,
exactly. And yeah, but that's like still to this day, like, I don't tell people that. I mean, they're probably gonna know now.
I don't think that's so bad though. I mean, I don't think that's anything to be embarrassed about.
That you asked me, what's the thing that I could say?
Right.
There's a lot of other things that I won't say.
I know, but I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, it's not so bad. Like, that's not.
It was bad. First of all, I had bought this, this whole trip for the family. It wasn't the only us; it was the kids too. And he said, "Hey, I can't go that weekend." I'm like, "Why?" "Oh, because I have such and such thing to do." So I said, "Okay, let's put it for next weekend." And I changed all the flights, paid the difference, everything for the following weekend. And then the following weekend, yes. But he was like, "Oh, no, I can't go," like 2 days before. And he gets home with this big bouquet of flowers, because that's another thing. These manipulating, narcissist liars, they know how to play their game. He got home with a big bouquet of flowers to tell me, "Hey, here you go. Oh, by the way, I can't go this weekend to this trip."
Damn.
Yeah.
Did the flowers work?
The flowers, they were beautiful, but you know what? Like her, that she had this gut feeling that something was going on. I said, I'm going to DR.
Mm-hmm.
I planned this like 4 days there. I planned it in a way where he would be doing something else while I would go visit my mom.
Okay.
Because I didn't want him to meet my mother.
Wow. So
because I knew like, okay, you know, I'm maybe in love, or I don't know what to this guy.
You were invested.
But I don't want my mom to meet him because he ain't it. So I planned the trip, but I was like, nah, he's not gonna meet my mom.
Well, how long was the relationship?
3 years and a half.
3.5 years.
On and off. Yeah.
Almost 1,200 days. Wow.
On and off.
On and off. But listen, we've all been there. We've all been there. Like when you want something to work, you will make it work. You know, it's like the mind is very powerful, right? So if you want to ignore the lies and make the lies be true, you will figure out a way to make the lies be true. I get it. I feel like with her, I feel like with her, as she told the story, and she's like, yeah, I knew it was a lie, but I wasn't going to call him on it. Like she was just kind of letting it go. I think but she
was building up a lot of anger because at the end she says it. She's like, I wanted to kill that man.
She did. And so when she made the statement, in the beginning that they said they both were dating with an intention and they wanted to get married, I'm like, all right, that's where she fucked up. Because when you decide, when she said that, first of all, she let him know what he needed to do to lock her down, right? But when you do that, you're like, it's almost like you're shopping when you're hungry, which you're not supposed to food shop when you're hungry, right? But
again,
what?
Let me tell you this. She, like I said, when I think back, I was like, how was I so stupid? I'm an intelligent woman. I don't put up with crap. How did I fall into this for such a long time? How did this happen to me? She said the same thing. Like she couldn't believe it. But you know what it is? If you haven't lived it, you don't know any better.
I'm curious.
You don't know how to be.
No, I get that. Like I get that. This is going to be probably an unpopular take, but I'm going to take it anyway. I kind of don't, when it was all said and done and I reflected on the situation, I'm like, other than the year and a half or whatever that she was together, what did she really lose? She came out on top. Like, so he lied about everything. Like in the end, it turned out he lied about absolutely everything, but he paid the rent.
Listen, man, it's called emotional abuse. It's called emotional abuse.
But even when
it's the thing.
So the way that I look at him, like she kept saying he was cruel, like he was cruel to take me on to look at these houses, right? No, but I don't think it was evil. Based on everything that she learned about him, right? So he's faking phone calls. He's assuming the life of his brother. He is delusional. He's not trying to be mean to her. What he's trying to do is live a life that he can't live. He's assuming this life.
But while he's dragging her though, because he is doing that to her. She's invested in this romance and marriage, Angie, and it's a lie.
But Angie,
so it's not.
She got married.
It's not okay.
She got married.
Listen to me. You can't tell me that. Okay, he's delusional. He's this. He's that. But he's doing all this and he's dragging her along.
I'm just. So in the end, what reason? So in the end, right? Let's look at how it ends for her, right? So for them, so in the end, she gets a new place. She gets divorced.
Oh, so you're justifying it?
No, I'm not justifying it, right? What I kept thinking was like she's missing. I think she's missing a lot of the lessons here. Like she knows there was lessons to be learned, but she's missing some things. Like so, the fact that when it was all said and done, he's probably dead, based on what she was saying about him losing the weight and being unhealthy and everything. But
no, they found him on TikTok, so he's alive.
He's alive. He's still alive. But she got a new place. He paid rent. He paid the bills for as long. Like she never said he stopped paying anything until she kicked him out. So he was paying all the bills. She was being taken care of to the point where he wasn't even paying his car payment. So his car gets repossessed. He gets locked up. He's homeless. He has no job. He has no things. He has absolutely nothing but the clothes on the back when it's all said and done. And she's riding off of the sunset in a new job, living in the county she wants to live in, and a new house. So I'm not discounting the emotional abuse. I'm not discounting like the trauma of everything that she went through. But what I'm saying is, how bad did she come out on the back end of this? And now she has a fantastic story that I know she's going to make a nice.
Well, yes. Now, yes.
Yes.
Right now she may look back and say, okay, everything else happened. All that happened because I'm here today. But in that moment, yes, it's trauma, it's emotional abuse, it's frustration. It's I could just imagine what this woman is thinking. Like, why did this happen to me? What did I do? You know what I mean? In that moment, must have been so hard for her.
It was hard. And let's not forget, she kicked that man out of his house. Like, yo, he was paying rent. Like, when she said that she kicked him out, like, I understood why. I get it. I get it. I absolutely get it. You hear the story. But I'm like, yo, he was paying the bills. And like, everybody knows she kicked him out and then like donated his stuff. Like,
well, she kicked him out because of all the lies and all the stories he was making up.
I get it.
And she had discovered all the stuff from the brother, and
it was bad. I know.
Okay, so let's put things. Let's talk about him, right?
Yeah, Mr. Delusional.
Like I said, they're narcissist people, right? With this guy though, with Legion,
yes,
he's sick.
Yeah, he's really sick. It has
to be a sickness.
He's sick.
Yeah, it has to be a sickness. He went on TikTok and said, you know what? Stop believing what other people say. I have an agreement with Netflix. My show is coming out in 6 months. 6 months. And something else about New Zealand, some show that he's doing in New Zealand.
Yeah, he ain't doing shit. He ain't doing nothing. He's a
Netflix,
liar.
this thing just happened like 2 weeks ago. And he's talking about he already has a contract with Netflix. They're doing a show on him.
He's a perpetual liar. Like, I mean, he's a habitual liar.
It's a sickness.
He literally, like, as she's telling the story, like about, like even the part where he got the company car, but he never drove it home. He never drove that BMW, that $90,000 BMW, the gray BMW. He never drove it home because they lived in a bad neighborhood and he didn't want any problems. So my question for her is, so you never noticed that there wasn't a BMW key on the key ring? Like, just little things like that. Like, okay,
But you know what it is? If you're not that type of person that would do something like that, you don't think about those little things.
Angie, but she had enough. But she had enough wherewithal to call the realtor of the house that they were supposed to be buying.
At that point, because a lot of things had happened already. So she's like, well, hold up.
But that was early on. That was the first house. That was the first house, if I believe so. That was the first house.
Yeah, it was.
And you know, and then when he turned around and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to pay cash for this next house. Right. And it's like, wait a minute. That wasn't a red flag for you. Like, so there was, as she's telling the story, I'm like, I'm trying hard to be on your side, but as crazy as he is, you're even worse because I get it.
But hold up. He was a good dresser.
No,
he got her the ring that she wanted. She, he was paying for the bills.
He was
maybe she thought, you know what? He doesn't want to tell me about his finances because we are, fairly new. I'm just gonna leave him and
they're married.
Do his thing.
They're married. She's pregnant. The other part of it, the question that I also have for her is, she never talked about what she contributed to the relationship beyond like being the person that was on the lease for that house. Like, that was the other thing.
It wasn't about that though.
No, but I mean,
it was about him.
But like, so when you just told me the story about your narcissist, you talked about what you did, what you contributed. You're like, I did this, that, and the other for him, and this is how he did me wrong. She had 6 hours of, he did this, he did that, he did the other thing.
Well, that's how it started, though. That's why she was doing it, because the first question was what an ex did to you.
I know.
So that's how the story.
I know, but when she was really doing all those parts, and she was really into telling the story, there was no part where she's like, "Yo, he lied to me," even though every day I rubbed his feet, or every day I made sure his laundry was. I'm just using those because that's off the top of my head, but I keep going back.
I get what you're saying, but that wasn't the point of the story.
It wasn't the point, but you would think that would come up. That would make me angry.
Mean,
wouldn't that make you angry?
Look, I'm sure she did. I mean, I don't know. I just know that the story didn't start that way. The way the story started was, what did an ex do to you? And that's why she created this whole series.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what you're saying. Like maybe along the way, while I was cooking him dinner, he did this.
Yeah, and I mean, I listened intently. Because I'm trying to take all this in, and I'm like, I know we were going to discuss this. And I'm like, yo, she really sat back and she just wanted to be taken care of. And that was the problem. Like, it wasn't until there was a point where she's like, oh, I need to get another job because I need to be able to make the car payment without his help. So
yeah,
I'm like, so you really, I'll go back to my original point. Despite all the lying that he did, she did not go in debt for him. She did not lose a home for him. She didn't, in the end, she's living where she wants to live. He has absolutely nothing.
In the end? You mean 3 years later?
It wasn't 3 years. Well, what? But their relationship was only a year.
A year and a half. Well, but still, there was a lot of emotional abuse. She had her mind. And you know what it is? When you have expectations, that's what happens. People don't have expectations, please, from other people. Try to do your shit on your own. Don't have expectations. So she was trying to find this fairy tale love. And she thought she did. And that just, and then when everything was a lie, and then, and she was, I guess, like, okay, he wants to pay for everything. And she says, it was so intoxicating for me. I felt like, I felt like, I found my prince, and women are emotional creatures. And we like to be taken care of.
I get it. But I even see you, like in your current relationship, how much you two take just based on social media, right? From what I see on social media. But there is a balance of give and take, it appears. Like you doing things. In her recollection of the story, there was no semblance of give and take. It was her taking, him giving, and her being upset because he wasn't giving to the level that she wanted to receive. And the only time she fell back.
Upset because he was lying.
I know, but
she looked like someone that probably wouldn't care that the guy didn't have, $750,000 cash in the bank.
Oh, don't, because I'm about to say something smart. No, listen.
Yes, like she looks like if he was like acting like a regular Joe and he was in, taking her out to dinner, a regular dinner. I mean, they went to the Cheesecake Factory, for crying out loud.
Well, the Cheesecake Factory is not inexpensive necessarily, but I know that, but I'm just saying.
Listen, it's not about expensive or not expensive. It's about not being like thought through. Like you could take me to a cheaper restaurant, but like a cozier, more romantic place. Notice, and it could be. But you notice it could be cheaper,
right? But you notice she didn't really try to slow him down. But when she was telling the story, in the beginning,
because she was looking for love.
No, but I'm talking about on this, but like on the spending and whatnot. Like at the only point.
My feet fell asleep.
Oh, sorry.
Both of them. That's insane. I can't feel it.
Lord, you can make it happen.
It's been a long day. I've been up since 5 a.m.
Same.
Yeah.
So we're here. No, like she did say, she wanted a Hyundai Telluride. Those, in comparison to a Benz, Beamer, Audi, that's cheaper, but that's not necessarily an inexpensive car. When he kept upping the ante on the houses, she didn't really try to slow him down, even though she was questioning, like,
why would she though?
Because because she was questioning. She was questioning.
My man, you just get a bigger house, okay? If you can afford it, sure.
Right. But you know what's up. When that was happening, she was like, I don't know what's going, like, it's not adding up. The math ain't mathing. In real time, she's thinking.
But she still had a little bit of faith. Like the back of her head, she's like, okay, but I'm going to believe. I'm going to have faith.
Right.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm overanalyzing.
I think you're overanalyzing.
Maybe I'm self-sabotaging.
I think you're caping. Oh, I think you're caping too hard for her. I keep going back to the idea.
It is. You know what it is? We know men and women two different type of creatures, man. Mm-hmm. I get it. Like, I get it. You're rationalizing. Like, you're thinking, oh, but why didn't she think this? Why didn't she think that? I'm thinking, well, she was all lovey-dovey and emotional, and then I found my prince, and this is going to be so great. And here comes a house. Here comes a baby. She's all...
I burnt years chasing, like, and doing exactly what she did, which was someone slapping me in the face and me being like, oh, it's a love slap. You know, like...
It happens. Right.
I get it. I think what turned me off is when at the end, on her was in the end, when he came to the house, like when she kept his stuff, right? She kept all his stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was a little, like, she should have just given him his stuff back.
She should have given him his stuff back. Like, she made it a point.
But she was mad. She was mad. And that happened to me too. I was mad at some point, and I did a lot of stupid shit.
All right, come on, out with it. Come on.
I did a lot of stupid shit.
Yes,
I'm not gonna say, but I did a lot of stupid shit. I did bad stuff. Like, I did a lot of stupid shit. But no, I get it though. She was upset.
She felt
betrayed.
But she was acting. She was really acting like what she did to him in the end. I felt like that's something that someone would do if they were trying to get their lick back because, like, they went into debt. Like, she was like all his Jordans and his Invicta watches.
I would have given it back. I wouldn't have stayed with any of it.
Like, she
was upset.
She was upset. He paid the bills. That's the part I don't get, and I'm still trying to understand. He paid the bill. Like, he wasn't like, I'm going to pay the bills. Yo, can you handle this and I get you next month? Like, he paid the bills. For whatever level,
and she actually said that, like, she emphasized on the fact that he always paid the bills.
He always paid. She was able to save her money. He took care of that, which is really super weird. And I would love to know how he was really paying the bill, like what was really going on. But to the point where you're not even paying your own car payment, and she made sure his car got repossessed because he came back to get his stuff. Like the stuff that he had. The fact that she had him sign that paper knowing that he was signing away the stuff that was left behind. And he only left that stuff behind because she basically chased him out of the house while he was sick. And that's when I'm like, yo, that's all the way fucked up.
But the thing is, that was at the end. She was fed up already. She was like, I'm gonna get him back.
But what was she fed up about? Let's talk about what she was fed up about.
All the lies.
Okay. So from what we understand, from what she told the story, there was no physical abuse, right? No. There was no him stealing of funds from her.
Okay, let me put it this way. So woman meets a man, she falls in love because I'm sure she was in love with him. She at some point she loved this guy.
I don't think she ever loved him. I think she loved what he represented.
Whatever it was, she was invested.
She was
invested. And she was lied to. Like, she's creating in her mind, this whole life. Mm-hmm. She's probably talking to her friends and her family about it. Mm-hmm. Right? This wonderful man, he proposed, we're getting married, I'm pregnant. And then comes the emotional part, because this can hurt more than anything material, than you paying for someone. This can hurt more than anything. This woman had gone through a miscarriage.
Which is horrible.
And he did not go to the hospital with her. And then when they call him to come pick her up, he puts his assistant on the phone.
I think his name was David.
Yeah, David. Probably him on the phone. Oh, this is his assistant, David. How can I help you? And then he gets there 3 hours later.
Yeah.
So that hurt. Mm-hmm. That emotional trauma right there, it can be worse than anything else. The fact, the changes that a woman's body goes through, the hormonal changes, the pain. She said she was in pain because she had to take some pill to get rid of the baby. So, and then to have this person just lie to you.
Oh yeah.
That right there is reason only for her to want to just keep all his stuff and not give it to him and see him die.
Well,
probably not kill him, but look at him die.
That.
And just imagine, that's just one thing that she was able to say. But we don't know how intimacy was. Maybe she's, waiting for her man at night. He comes. He doesn't want to do anything with her.
Oh, they weren't sleeping together. Remember, so this is an important aspect of this. After they got married or whatever, they stopped sleeping together.
And there you go.
And he was
and maybe she wanted to. And he cheated.
He cheated
a couple of times.
He cheated.
So yes,
no, he wasn't
mad.
Angie, he definitely was not. He was not on the up and up. And I'm not even. I know it sounds like I'm caping for him, and I'm not really caping for him. But what I'm actually like trying to wrap my brain around is the cruelty in the end that she put him through.
Because of what she had gone through. It was revenge. I've done it. I mean, I get it.
Up, 'cause I'm keep asking what you think.
I get it. I will tell you that off camera.
Okay. Because she had that moment when she showed up to sign the documents, and he was stinking. It was clear he was living in a car. He had no money. He had lost the weight, right? And then she like looked at him and felt bad and gave him $6 for nuggets. But then in the same breath was like,
I would have admitted that from the story. Like I wouldn't even have said that. Because girl, why'd you give him $6? Give him like at least $20.
Right. $6, some nuggets. But I would think at that point in time, that would be the time in her head to be like, yeah, he can have his stuff back. Like his watches. Yeah. Like you see how bad he is. So to me, that's why I don't think she ever really loved him. She loved what he represented and what he could potentially have done for her. But if you love someone, even in that worst state, you don't want to see him down bad like that. And she,
after all he did, she was okay with that.
She was okay. So that's why I don't think she loved him. I don't think she loved him. I don't think it was like, yo, I'm getting what I want. I'm dating with intention. I would have get married. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
And my God.
It's messy. Yeah, it's messy. But he definitely needs help. I think he's sick.
No, he's definitely sick.
That is not normal.
No, he's definitely sick. He's definitely sick. It's delusion. Like, so even everything that he was doing, he was really literally trying to live a life that he knew he couldn't do on his own. That's what it was. Everything. Like the phone calls, the fake phone calls to friends and family.
That is insane.
Every day. The fake.
You know how long it takes to put up with this production? That's insane.
And it makes me wonder if he really was talking to somebody, like he's schizophrenic. So when she said he was cruel and he was torturing me, like he was torturing her, but I don't think his intent was to torture her. Like when he was looking through for those houses, he in his brain, we're really going to get this house. I'm going to really buy you this Audi Q8.
Yeah, he was really faking until he made it.
In his mind, he was probably doing it. Look, you can't. The level of detail to the lie is what gets me to believe that he's seriously delusional.
The printing, looking for the pictures in Google. That is crazy. That is a lot of work.
How about taking her to the family church for the drive-by?
That's crazy.
Or the fact that he was going to show her. She asked to see his office, and he was like, and he did that whole like fake call to the security guy and be like, "Oh yeah, there's nobody there that can't let me." Like my man was delusional. There was it wasn't a con. Like I think for him, it wasn't the con that people think it is or she thinks it is. I think he literally is just mentally unwell. And and the fact, like, she was upset. Like, did you think it was bad that he checked himself into a hospital for 2 weeks, a mental hospital? Like,
no, absolutely not.
Right,
that was a good thing.
Well, but to get out of the Georgia heat, so he'd have a place to.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do,
right? She's like,
man's got game.
He was smart. Oh my gosh! So have you? How many narcissists have you had in your life? In your love life?
I think the one.
Just the one?
And it kept on going for so long because I didn't know what it was at the beginning. because I've never experienced like narcissistic behavior.
Okay.
Like you can't understand, like, is it me or what's going on? And then they're charming, and they love bomb you, and it's like they give you, and then they pull back a little, and you're like, okay, what's going on? What did I do? Disappear for a week, and then we not answer, and then he comes back, and beautiful dinner, and let's go here, and you know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy because, like her, I was like, I'm such a smart girl. I don't put up with crap. Like, what happened to me? Like, what happened?
I mean,
but
maybe
it's an experience. I mean, it's an experience. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson. So just to have one though, I mean that's pretty good, because it seems like there's a lot of people out there that have had multiple experiences with that.
So how do you deal with a narcissist and then go out with another one? Because you should know. You should know off the bat, like when the love bombing, people that they know when they meet someone, they know. Usually narcissists know what they want from that person. So They know how to act. They know what to do. They know what to say.
But is that
right? Sometimes you can't you can't tell the difference between somebody doing it, genuinely, and someone just acting because they want something. But as time goes by, there's little hints.
So maybe I've just had a thought, because so what I understand a narcissist to be is someone who they say a narcissist is somebody who has holes from their childhood, and they spend their adult life trying to fill those holes, right? And they see the world through their lens. They see the world. Everything is through their perspective, their lens. They don't think about other people because they're so busy trying to fulfill each other. But what you're describing to me also kind of sounds more like a sociopath. Where
no, it's a narcissist. Like, there's a lot of characteristics, right? Mm-hmm. So a narcissist is just me. And I want you, be there for me. And if you're going somewhere else to someone else, no, you got to go back to me. Okay. Come back. You're mine. Stay right there. Well, I do whatever I want with other people. But if you go somewhere else, then I'm going to have a fit.
Gotcha.
You see that they say, like, if you want to get rid of a narcissist, ignore them. That will drive them crazy.
Okay.
It'll drive them crazy.
All right. That makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is
we should get someone that's a specialist.
Oh, I have a therapist friend. We could really talk about it. I think so. There's a lot of people that have narcissistic behaviors. Like, I've met very few narcissists.
I mean, I feel like everyone does. Like, everyone's a little selfish. Mm-hmm. Everyone's a little egocentric. Yeah. But then there's people that it's, they're also something that's very, that all narcissists have is they're not empathetic.
No,
they don't care what you do.
No,
they don't.
None at all. That shit is crazy. And I find like I have people that I'm close to in my life that I know they have really great hearts. Their hearts are so good, but they are narcissists. And I spend so much time and energy.
That is true too. Like, people with like good hearts, they have good intentions, but they're narcissists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like steady, like trying to like guide them to the world of empathy and trying to see the world from a perspective other than their own. It's like, it's hard. It's draining.
They need to recognize they have that problem before you can help them fix that problem.
But from what I understand, you can't help a narcissist. Because they'll never...
They have to... that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to realize that they have that problem. And usually they don't.
No, they'll never admit it. It's like, no, it's not me. It's everybody else.
Exactly.
But I'm still...
That's something that I used to... That's something that I used to say to this person. I used to say, you are the common denominator. It can't be everyone else having the same problem with you.
Word. And their response...
You are the common denominator.
And their response...
Oh, no, it's everyone else. They were right all the time.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. It's been real. I see I didn't sway you in any way. You're still team whatever. You're team the chick. whatever her name is. I don't know.
Teresa.
Yeah, I think but she did teach the world.
I feel for Teresa. I mean, she went through a lot. I think she did. And then at the end, she was just mad. And she was like, I want revenge. Yeah, fuck him. Go to the hospital. I'm going to take your stuff. Here's $6 for some nuggets.
Some chicken nuggets. That's not even enough for 20 nuggets.
And sign the divorce papers.
That's not even enough for 20 nuggets.
I know, right?
So how can people be in your life on the social media thing? What are your socials? Where can they follow
I have
you?
a lot of social media, but my main are my name, of course, Angie Jerez, and Instagram, Angie_Jerez, Jerez. On Instagram, most importantly, Casa de Ocio, which is my business, my travel business. And that's it. Like I'm not using Facebook or Twitter anymore. Well, X now. And then TikTok is just for fun sometimes.
There you go. Yeah. So you can follow Angie Jerez. We'll definitely have you back. Thank you for trying to make me not feel as, I don't know. I'm still just turned off by just that whole thing. I just
you want your 5 hours back?
I want my 5 hours back. I definitely want my 5 hours back. She owes me 5 hours. No. It was. I appreciated her storytelling. I appreciated her transparency, and I hope that people learn from it. Like learn something.
Do you know? You want me to tell you something? Do you know this show, The Bear?
No.
It's on Hulu.
I don't have Hulu.
So this show, The Bear, it won so many awards this past season. Like so many awards, and I tried watching it, and I'm going to be honest. I was more entertained by Luisa Tisa. Who the fuck did I marry?
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad somebody was. Yeah. I'm glad she.
Well, no, but let me just say, I'm still watching The Bear though.
Okay.
But I like watch a couple of minutes and go away. With Tisa Risa, I was like stuck on my phone listening to the story.
She did it, man. You need to do a series about your narcissist. Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Anyway, thank you so very much. This was great.
Thank you for inviting me. Let's do it again.
Yes, we'll do it again. Okay, so this is the Culture Misfits podcast with Angie Jerez for this episode, and Brandon, aka DJ Silk. You can follow me at DJ Silk on Instagram. All right, we're out. Say bye, Angie.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. Adios. Bye.